What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting live stream. It's Valentine's Day. See the king with the heart. It's going to be an awesome stream. Got some really cool announcements. Got some amazing guests. We have some insane tutorials ahead. So let's just do this. All right, guys. Welcome to another live stream with me, Spidey. And I'm going to go over the rules. As always, you guys know them. I must sound like a broken record by now. But if some of you are joining us for the first time, welcome. We're glad to have you. Here are the rules. First of all, no bullying whatsoever. Zero tolerance for bullying across the entire channel, not just the streams, but everywhere on my channel. Bullying is not tolerated. This is a channel where we're here to learn, to grow, to learn magic, to learn about mentalism, to learn about psychology, all kinds of different stuff, to have some fun. There's no room for bullying here. I constantly have my managers taking a look at the comments. If we see any bullying, you get banned from the channel. We don't just delete the comment, we ban you from the channel. We don't have that kind of energy here. Second of all, please don't shout out methods. It just looks silly because either you're right and that just ruins the magic, or you're wrong, which makes you look foolish. So don't yell out methods. You're not impressing anyone. We don't care. We're all here to have fun. You might see some stuff you recognize, and if you do, that's great. It means your progress is advancing, but there's no need to yell out the method, and I do appreciate you. I'm not going to ban you if you do that, but I will put you on the timeout. So none of that. Also, let's keep the chat over here, the chat on the left, the live chat. Let's keep that relevant to what's going on the stream. If you guys go off on tangent conversations, it becomes very confusing for anyone trying to follow what's happening in the actual video. That being said, I have a bunch of really awesome guests for you today. They all look super confident. Looks like we're gonna have a real good time. I'm gonna show you guys, give you a sneak peek at a trick that we're gonna be doing a tutorial for. We have a special guest today who's gonna do a really cool tutorial. We have an announcement that's really exciting, so stick around, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's start with overseas. We are going to Europe, to the UK. We've got two guests from the UK starting off the stream, and we're going to begin with our first guest. He is 20 years old, and he's going to do a mentalism trick that he put together himself based on other works, and that is designed for the virtual platform. Everyone show some love to my buddy Tom. What is going on, my friend?
Hey Spidey, you doing all right?
I'm doing good, man. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. This is the first time performing to an audience that's not my girlfriend or my family, so
wow.
Thanks.
Okay, well that's a big leap to go from girlfriend and family to all of us. I'm sure it's gonna go great. So you ready to take it away?
Yeah, just about, I reckon.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so like Spidey said earlier, I put this trick together because obviously performance opportunities are somewhat limited these days. Obviously, just as a side point, I hope everyone's safe and well. These are tricky times, and we need magic to keep our spirits up in these times. But obviously, card tricks and such, they're kind of difficult to perform when you can't see people. So I came up with something that could be done through a screen. I'm actually going to need your help with this, Spidey, if that's all right.
Sure.
So obviously, normally when I'm doing a card trick, I'd offer you the deck, and I do the magician's cliche of pick a card, any card. Incidentally, if we did do this face-to-face, I would also ask you to sign a card just so I could then put it in a frame and say, hey, guys, I've got a signed card from Spidey. No. And they'd say, what the hell? How did you meet Spider-Man? And I'd say, no, not that Spidey. Other Spidey who's much cooler. But obviously, I can't do that. So I had to come up with a different way of having you select a card through a screen. It's kind of janky, but it works. So you can see I've jogged the deck there. Is that coming through? I know I've got a kind of bad webcam.
Absolutely.
I'm going to run my thumb down like that. At any point, just say stop. I'll pull out the packet there, and then the bottom card will be your card. That make sense?
Yeah.
So
stop.
Right there?
Exactly there. Unbelievable.
All right then. So that is your card. You see that? Has that come through all right?
Got it, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to put the deck back together and give it a little cut. Now, Spidey, you'll know this. Like we magicians, we do a lot of stuff that isn't really necessary. That's just sort of there because, let's face it, we're show-offs. So, I can do that and toss a card in the air and catch it and put it back in the deck and give the deck another cut. And that doesn't do anything. Like that is pure showboating.
Useless.
But we also do a lot of stuff that is necessary, and cuts and shuffles and things. But we catch a lot of flack for that. For then saying, oh, it's not real. You're just doing false cuts and shuffles and stuff like that. Particularly cuts, I get called out on a lot. So I want to demonstrate that there are real cuts out there. It's not false ones. So like, we got the bottom card at the moment. We've got the two of clubs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give this a quick cut. Oops, I dropped one of the cards. Anyway, cut. Now we've got the queen of spades on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a couple more cuts, just like that. I do apologize for my shaking hands, by the way.
Don't worry about it. Happens to all of us.
And now we got King of Hearts on the bottom, somewhat appropriate for Valentine's Day. So you're happy that the cards have genuinely been mixed, right there? You're happy with that?
Yeah, no doubt in my mind.
So what I'm going to do is, again, little intro. You know what the card is and I don't at this stage, right? You still got the card in your mind?
Yeah.
Here's the cool part. You actually also know where the card is in the deck. You just don't know that you know where it is. It's a subconscious thing. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to riffle down the deck like that. And when you get sort of a feeling or a sense, and it might not be on the first riffle, it might take a couple of tries, just say stop and we will cut the deck there. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Stop.
Right there?
Right there.
Okay, cool. So do you want to change your mind, by the way? I should have said
no,
that.
That's exactly where.
You're happy. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark that cut with a cross right there. So
Okay.
we'll remember the place. I'm going to put the deck down, but I'm going to keep my hands in camera so that you can be sure I'm not doing anything weird with the deck. I wish I was clever enough to do fancy moves with my feet, but I'm just not. I also don't have the flexibility. So what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to try and pull the card out of your mind. I should say, do I have your consent to enter you before I start this? That came out wrong. Do I have your permission to read your mind? I should have said. My apologies. Okay. So just hold the card in your mind, the card that you chose. Hold that in your mind. I should have known trying to read someone else who does this is going to be tricky. Okay. If it's a black card, think about holding it in your left hand. If it's a red card, think about holding it in your right. Okay, so it's a black card. If it's spades, think of a cat. If it's clubs, think of a dog. Spades. That was a nice cat, by the way.
Always cat. Always cats over dogs.
Always. If it's a high card, think of the sun. If it's a low card, think of the moon. Yeah, you're trying to blind me there? That was a bright moon. So it's a low spades.
Nice.
Ace 2 3. Ace 2 3 2. Was it the two of spades?
Yeah. Wow. Yes.
Okay. So your card was the two of spades,
Mm-hmm.
and you had free choice over like the riffles and so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So your card was the two of spades, and you chose where we cut the deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your card, the two of spades. I give you two of spades.
Mm-mm.
That's not the two of. I know what's happened there. Sorry. You chose to cut the deck here. I thought you were cutting to this card, but you weren't. You were in fact cutting to this card, which is the two of spades.
Boom.
Before we go, I got one follow-up thing that I can do for that, if that's all right. Just takes like a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so two of spades. I'm going to use 3 cards for this next thing, so I'm just going to grab them from my other deck. So one more. Right. We got the ace, the 2, and the 3 of spades there, right? This is from another deck, I should have said.
Mm-hmm.
Ace, 2, 3 of spades there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the 2 of spades as what I call my wingman card. This is a card that I will use if I'm going out trying to, if I'm trying to pick up ladies and stuff like that. When you look like this, you need sort of an extra boost. So I tend to turn to magic. So we had the ace, 2, 3 of spades. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out that middle card, that 2, right? And I'm going to keep that very much in frame. So, there we got the other 2 there. That's a really awkward wrist position. I'm going to put them down. And like I say, this card is my wingman card because when I need to, he will do something really impressive to make me look really good. So we've got 2 of spades. All I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. Okay. how confident are you that this is still the two of spades?
99.6.
99.6. Pretty confident, and I like it. Would you be willing to put a bet on it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's bet a drink. If this card is anything other than the two of spades, then in some hypothetical universe where we would actually cross paths, you owe me a drink.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Nice.
Like I said, he's my wingman, so I can't have him just disappear. He has got to reappear. I'm sure you've all noticed my sort of British-themed decor, but I wonder if any of you noticed the card that's up there.
Right there in the back, yeah.
So
nice.
And unless we forget, this whole wingman thing was based on the card that you chose, the two of spades, right?
Yeah.
Two of spades.
Nice, man. Full circle, baby.
There you go. Thanks for having me, Spidey. That was a lot of fun.
That's great. I'm just posting all the reactions you're getting. Look at this. Look at that, dude. I think your first time performing for someone other than your family is going really well.
I can feel my heart rate going, and my face is like a tomato.
Well, you're very likable, man, and you've got that smooth sort of presentation. You're very comfortable. I thought that was great. I honestly, you actually threw me a curveball because I thought what you were going for was the Skinner 3-card Monty, which is the two of spades would turn into like one of the other two cards. But I just didn't recognize what you were using, which is an old other thing for the 3-card Monty. But it was great. It was so good.
Yeah.
They keep coming in. Keep coming in.
I considered doing a 3-card Monty type thing, but the thing is, I was born dyspraxic, so like my hand-eye coordination and dexterity is like 0. So I had to find out.
You were born what?
Dyspraxic.
What is that?
So it's a neurological condition that basically means that some of the wiring in my brain isn't quite right. So like my handwriting is illegible. You throw me a ball, I will just fumble it. My coordination is non-existent.
Dude, you know what, man? The fact that you were able to do that's incredible. I mean, because even what you did, there was I don't want to give it away, but there was a slight there in the first routine. And then in the second routine, you got to hold them. Dude, that's amazing, man. Like, that's incredible. The fact that you even pursue this, given that is obviously a big challenge is incredible. So I commend you for that. And I thank you for coming on the stream and having the courage to start us off today. What a beautiful, beautiful way to do that. And I thank you for that courage. And I hope those of you watching, if you ever, you guys, we often make excuses like, oh, I can't do that because this, I can't do that because, and here you have a guy who has a condition that limits the movement of his hands doing magic. I think that's such a great lesson for all of us.
Yeah, well, like I say, I'm flattered to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Thank everyone for all the lovely comments. And then that little bit you just said at the end, Spidey, I was red already, but now I'm going supernova. So,
Tom, before you go, I'd like to show you a trick.
Yeah, please.
Guys, sneak peek time. It's time for me to show you guys a trick that we're going to be doing on the channel as a tutorial soon. Maybe next week, maybe a little bit after that, but in the coming weeks. And this is another one of those that I know I keep saying this about so many of my tricks, but it's, what happened is during this lockdown at some point, I started releasing tricks that were a little on the channel that were a little bit higher caliber than I would have wanted to do on YouTube because, I was aware that you guys were at home and you guys wanted to learn some really exciting stuff. So I legitimately put some of my best stuff on the channel. Some of these tricks I did, like the blank cards with the Joker and some of the peaks we looked at, the friction pen, which the deck that changes color at the end after you've the 8 phases. What else? The so many, man. The robbers trick. You guys could remind me in the comments some of the ones I did. The Post-it one where the drawing jumps off the post. I mean, there's just so many that I did. Last week's with the double backer or 2 weeks ago now. Anyways, so many tutorials I did are stuff in my actual set. So it's kind of like I raised the bar. So this is another piece like that. It's just something that is really, really good, I think. And I've done this professionally. And I think there's something about this that's so clean. And it's one of those tricks where even those people who think they know what's going to happen, there's just a couple of things about it that are way too clean to make sense. So Tom, I'm going to perform it for you. And then we're going to do a tutorial on the channel. So we go, poof.
Cool.
Yeah, the trick with the ace 2-3. Yeah. Yeah, the prediction of the sports game, that's also a really fun one. Although I've never really, I have, but I don't do it that often with sports. I do it with video game predictions, but whatever. Okay, so grab this, grab that. It's not a double envelope, it's a legit envelope. Let's see if this is going to look better, maybe. Okay. Tom, you ready, buddy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go. So inside this envelope, I've got a prediction, and I'm going to try to do this as fair as humanly possible. Tom, I'm going to go through the cards one at a time. I'm going to flip them face up as I go through them, and I want you to say stop whenever you want. Now, to be clear, we're going to go for the next card when you say stop, not the face up one that I just dealt. So as I go through these, like this on the table, you say the word stop absolutely whenever you like.
Stop.
Right there.
Right there.
Tom, totally up to you. Do you want to keep going, or is that exactly where you wanted to say stop?
I got a feeling about that one. Let's go with that one.
This is the one right here. Guys, make sure there's no weird sleight of hand, nothing like that. That's where you said stop, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I did say there's a prediction on the table, but I didn't tell you what it was. Mm-hmm. Again, no change, no weirdness, one piece of paper inside the envelope. Tom, I predicted that you were going to stop at the 2 of diamonds. Now, here's the crazy thing. I don't know how much attention you were paying to this deck, but there's a 7 of diamonds here, 10 of diamonds, 2 of hearts, ace of diamonds. There's no 2 of diamonds here. And if you were doing this live, they can look through it. The 2 of diamonds isn't there, which can only mean one thing. You said stop right here. Tom, 2.
Well, you got me. You got me. Damn it.
And yeah, this works live. It works virtual. I love it for virtual because it's so clean. It's so fair. It's straight to the point. And that's it, guys. That is, we're going to be covering that very, very soon on the channel. But do me a favor, guys, in the comments of the video, when the stream is over, down below in the comments, let me know if you want me to cover this, if you're excited about it. You know, I love to see your guys' reaction to the stuff that I perform. You know how important it is for me to perform the stuff that I'm going to teach. So hopefully you guys are as excited about that as Tom was. So yeah, let me know. Can spectator look at the cards? Yes, absolutely. Spectator, there's nothing wrong with any of the cards. You could do this with your deck. There's nothing wrong with anything. They could totally look at everything. So yeah, you could shuffle. It's also very versatile. It can be used as a force. You could start by shuffling the cards. I just wanted something direct, straightforward for you guys, sort of like the bare bones of the effect. We're going to talk about variations and stuff like that. We're going to bring back, obviously, the reveal on the butt cheeks, if you guys remember that, because there's always an option if you don't want to do the envelope. And what? Thanks, Scott. Oh, wow. Okay. I just noticed. Cool. Yeah, guys, let me know in the comments when this is done, or if you're watching this after it streams, let me know in the comments, and we will do a tutorial for this really soon. Tom, thanks for being with us today, man. That was really awesome. You're such an inspiration for working against the odds to pursue a passion that others with your condition would say is impossible. So thanks for doing the impossible.
Thanks for having me, man. Long-time fan, ever since I saw you on Penn and Teller. So thanks for having me, and I hope you have a lovely day, man.
My pleasure, brother. All right, well, that was awesome. So let's move on. We're going to stay in the UK. Our next guest is going to show us a couple of really cool things, including a performance that he learned from my lecture, which is really awesome. So let us welcome to the stream my friend and yours now, Joseph. How are you? Oh, let's do this so everyone could see you. How are you, Joseph?
Hey, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Very cool, man. So, Joseph, you're going to start. You got 2 tricks for us. The first one you're going to do, and you're just 14, by the way. Joseph is only 14 years old. And you're going to start with a trick that you used to compete on the 1v1 competition that Blaze Sarah was hosting that we talked about on the channel. And then you've got something from my lecture, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. So go for it, man. Let's start with the Rubik's Cube.
Okay, so if I was here in person, I would hand you this Rubik's Cube to mix up. But since you're not, what I'd just like you to do is start shouting out the colors, and I will keep on turning those colors. And then when you think it's mixed up enough, just shout the word stop.
Okay, just start mixing randomly, and I'll just say stop. Go ahead. Stop. That looks good.
Right here, you can see that's mixed up on all 6 sides. I have
absolutely.
A here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place the cube into a bag just like that. And just a snap, it actually comes out solved. Now, that would have been a pretty impressive trick if there wasn't another cube in the bag.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't even look like the same kind of Rubik's Cube.
It's really different. But we're actually going to try something with this one as well. So I would just like you to shout the word stop whenever you like as I start to mix.
Stop.
Right here?
Yeah.
See that's mixed up on all 6 sides?
Yeah.
There are 43 quintillion different combinations on the Rubik's Cube. What are the chances that one side would...
Oh, man, what?
But hey, what's better than one side? That would be 2 sides. Better than 2 would be 3, 4, 5, and that is all 6 sides, completely matching. But I let you down a little bit earlier. When I put the cube in the bag, you thought something pretty impressive had happened, so we're going to try that for real. We take the cube, goes into the bag. You can actually see that it's still mixed up inside the bag.
Yeah.
Right? Just a snap, and if I just reach my hand into my bag, if I just reach my hand into the bag, you actually see that it comes out.
Oh, man!
Empty bag. Now, I could just leave this cube mixed up just to annoy you, but I'm not that kind of a person. So instead, I'm going to start to give the cube a bit of a shake, and you're actually going to see that it starts to magically solve itself, and that is all 6 sides of both Rubik's Cubes completely solved.
Wow. Joseph, you did that in the 1v1 competition?
Yeah.
How did that go?
I did it in the first round. Yeah, I got through to the next one by 0.1 points.
You what?
By 0.1 points, I got through.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's incredible, dude. That was incredible. Like, you know what? It's so funny how, so usually when people do the bag thing with the first one, they bring out another one and it's solved and it turns out it's a joke because there's another one in the bag. I love how the second Rubik's Cube you took out of the bag isn't even the same one. So it's immediately obvious to the audience, like, oh, it's not even the same one. He's trying to trick us. So it becomes a funnier joke. And then it makes the match more impressive to me because it eliminates the possibility of some sort of shell or some sort of transferable surface because it's not even the same cube. So I thought that was really, really impressive. Holy good Lord, that was amazing. Okay, well, now I'm excited to watch you do one of my tricks because if you start with something epic like that and then mess up my trick, I'm going to be pissed. So, Joseph, this is something that you learned in my At the Table lecture, right?
Yeah.
Sweet, let's do it. I'm excited. Let's go. I love watching you guys do the tricks I teach you because it just sort of comforts me in knowing that teaching this stuff is going a long way. Let's do it, man.
Okay. So, Spidey, do you know what this is?
That looks to be like a deck of cards, but I don't see any cards in it.
This here is a blank deck of cards. You got
Right.
the deck of cards right, but then you didn't. Yeah, it's completely blank, as you can see. Because basically, whenever the United States Playing Card Company print their cards, they always print the backs before they print the fronts. But with just a snap, I can actually change every single card so they're all completely printed. As I keep going through, you'll see every single card. Well, this is awkward. You know, that's okay. Can you just name any card?
Yeah, let's go with the 8 of clubs.
The 8 of clubs? I'm going to go through the deck and try and find the 8 of clubs. Where is it? Hold on, there's the 8 of spades right there.
No, I wanted clubs, yeah.
You wanted clubs? Oh, I think I know what happened. You're not going to believe this, Spidey. Your mind is about to be blown, okay? This blank card right here, when they printed it, was going to be the 8 of clubs. Thank you.
Amazing.
No, but I'll prove it. Look, watch the blank card, okay? I'm going to take the blank card and I'm going to start to just give the card a bit of a shake. And you're going to see that one card starts actually forming.
Yes. Oh, so good. Yes. Love it. Man, it's so crazy to see like my own trick being done for me. And like, that was so good. That was so good. Like that it's so clean. Dude, Joseph, you're a legend, man. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Those are both amazing. Those are both amazing. I have absolutely no criticism. That was incredible. Yeah, and he's 14. And he's 14. That's insane. Let's see all the hold on. Boom. Boom. Look at this. Bam. Look down. Bam. Good stuff, man. I'm gonna plug your social media. If I could find it. Guys, this is his Joseph, is that your Instagram?
Yeah.
Joseph _W_9328. Guys, go give him a follow. Go show him some love. That was incredible. Joseph, thank you so much for being here with us today, my man. You're awesome. That was incredible. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Anytime. All right. Well, that was dope. That was dopey dope. Let's keep going. Yeah, let's just keep going. So our next guest is from. Sorry, I'm a little lost. Is from the U.S., Seattle, West Coast. He's going to do some sleight of hand, which is always gutsy. It's always gutsy to come on here and do sleight of hand because you can't re-record. But he looks like a super good guy. He sent me a video a little while ago of him doing magic on chat roulette, which is like Omegle. And for a random guy, he did one of the tricks from the channel, the envelope one. I don't know if you guys remember the one I did for Shin Lim, where you put a prediction inside an envelope. They randomly choose a card and it matches. He sent me a video of himself doing that. It was incredible, really well presented, really well done. I think it's on his YouTube channel as well. So you guys could go actually watch. You know what? We're going to leave his YouTube channel. That way you guys could go. I think it's on his YouTube channel. We'll talk about that. But you guys could go check it out and see someone applying the trick that, one of the tricks on the channel. Anyways, welcome him to the channel. His name is RJ. RJ, welcome to the stream, my friend.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. RJ, the trick you sent me of you doing the envelope trick for someone, that's on your YouTube channel, right?
I don't really have, it's not public on my YouTube channel. I don't have like my own social media, but I can like link it, the unlisted link just in the comments or something.
Yeah, or send it to me and I'll put it down below in the description if you guys, because it's always good for people who subscribe to see like other subscribers doing the material out there in the real world. And you did a wonderful performance, got a great reaction, so yeah, if anybody wants to see an extra performance of that envelope trick that we learned on the channel, it's a great place for them to see it. And you absolutely nailed it. So yeah, you know what? Maybe afterwards, shoot me a link and I'll put it in the description. If you guys are interested, you could check the description down below after this is over and you guys can go watch that.
Totally. Yeah. And I mean, along those lines, like I was just going to say, I just wanted to thank you because, your channel really got me back into magic. I was like obsessed with magic when I was growing up and kind of fell out of it. And then your channel, some video you made just showed up in my feed. And kind of in the recent years, I've been picking it back up because of your channel. So thanks for kind of inspiring me to get back into it.
My pleasure, dude. I at most I was just a little extra push. I'm sure the passion was always there, but sometimes we get distracted. So thanks, man. That's really kind of you to say that. So also, I'm going to give you guys a little clue about our guest today, RJ, and my special guest today, because I never say who the special guest is. I always keep it as a little surprise. RJ and my special guest today look scarily similar. Like they could pass for brothers. So that's just a little clue I'm going to drop, and maybe you guys can guess what that means. He does. Peter, I agree. He says RJ has a nice. Oh no, that's the wrong one. But that I appreciate that too. Just gave this channel a thumbs up. But RJ said, or Peter said, RJ has a nice performance voice. He does. You have like a radio announcement, very soothing voice.
Thank you.
We also have someone from France joining us. Bonjour, bienvenue, merci d'être là. Je vous apprécie toujours, mes abonnés français, toujours très appréciés. Bonjour du Québec. Il faut que je change l'accent. Quand je parle en français de la France, il faut que ça soit poétique, il faut que ça soit français comme ça. Mais un Québécois, je peux parler de même, puis vous allez comprendre. Sorry, RJ. I was sort of French accent.
It's impressive. I have a French last name, and I have no idea what you just said.
I was just sort of comparing the two French accents because from France they speak very differently. It's very sort of poetic, romantic, and then in Quebec it's a little rougher. I'm from Quebec myself, so yeah, and also even the way they speak English. French people, when they speak English, the accent is totally different. Someone from France talking to you would be like, RJ, welcome to the, no, they wouldn't say welcome, they say, welcome to the stream. It is so nice to meet you. Oh, I love the magic also. My whole life I've been doing. And then the French Canadians would be like, yeah, me too, I did the magic my whole life. You know, it's a very, very different dialect. It manifests very differently. So anyways, after this little cultural lesson, Jean-Luc is impressed by my Québécois. Jean-Luc, j'ai fait mon secondaire entièrement en français. J'avais une copine française, même pas copine, une blonde française pour 5 ans. Fait que je suis super confortable avec le Joël. Je peux aller en Abitibi parler de même. Anyways, oh, Donovan lives in Laval. So do I. That's amazing. Are we neighbors? Me too. I live in Laval. Okay, cool. That's enough about me. So RJ, are you ready, buddy?
I'm ready.
Sweet. Oh, somebody guessed that my guest is Daniel Garcia. That's not a bad guess. You kind of have a bit of that vibe.
Yeah, I could see
it. I could see it. Okay.
While you're doing that, I am going to switch to my table camera here.
Oh, look at that.
All right. Hopefully you can see my cards here. All right. So I have a deck of cards here, and I want you to see, first of all, that all the cards are different and pretty well mixed. Hopefully you can see that pretty well on the camera there. I think we got a nice angle.
Mm-hmm. Looks great.
Cool. So, you know, I mentioned I kind of fell out of Magic for a while, but when I was growing up, I was particularly into sort of sleight of hand card magic and and controlling cards in particular. And I always particularly enjoyed performing for other magicians because magicians know things like the fact that no movement and no part of a routine happens without a reason, right? And this routine is no exception to that. You remember in the very beginning, a few seconds ago, I spread out the cards to show you that all the cards were different and well mixed. Of course, I did that for a reason. And the reason is, in this case, that I need a few cards for this routine. And I was just catching a glimpse of where those cards are throughout the pack so that I could control them into the positions that I need for this trick. And I think I am just about a cut away from where I need to be. So anyone can control a card to the top. That's no fun. What I've done in this case is I've actually controlled the few cards that I need into specific positions throughout the pack to where in order to find them now, all we actually have to do is spell out ACEOFSPADES, and we should hit the Ace of Spades. Now, Ace of Clubs spells with 10 letters. I know that because I spelled it right before I got on video. So I'm going to see how my feel is and give a deck a cut here. That feels like about 10 cards. Let's see how I did. ACEOFCLUBS. Hey, I got lucky. Ace of Clubs right there. Now, we'll go for one of the longer spelling ones, the ACEOFDIAMONDS, and we hit the Ace of Diamonds. Now, that was a lot of cards and a lot of letters, so at this point, you might be thinking, well, RJ, what if I can't spell? And that's a good question. So in this case, we're going to count instead. I'm going to give the deck a cut, and we'll take the card that I cut to. It's a 9. So we will count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that 9th card should be the Ace of Hearts. Thank you. Now that we have the aces, I want to show you a trick with the 4 aces, but I'm going to simplify it quite a bit because we have a lot of cards that we're working with right now, and I actually want to show you a trick with just the 4 aces. So we're going to take those 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and I'm going to set the entire rest of the deck aside. Now, to make this even easier, you actually only have to keep track of one of the aces. Okay, the Ace of Spades is the money card. That's what you want to keep your eye on. So if the Ace of Spades starts on the bottom, and I just count through the cards, just 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, right? That, of course, brings the Ace of Spades up to the top. But the cool thing is I can also take the ace, put it on the bottom, and give it a little wave like this, and that also brings it up to the top. You didn't really know what to expect that time or what to look for, so I'll show you again. If I just take that ace, put 1, 2, 3 cards on top of it, just like that, it just takes a wave to bring it right back up to the top. You see, it doesn't actually matter where in the packet I put it. All it takes is a wave to bring that right back up to the top. I can even put the ace over here on the table and wave, and it still comes up to the top. But normally I just put it on the bottom and give it a wave to bring it up to the top. But the weird thing about this trick is that this is called the 4 10 of hearts trick.
Why?
And exactly, you're probably wondering why in the world would this be called the 4 10 of hearts trick? Because I'm taking the ace of spades, putting it on the bottom and giving it a wave to bring it up to the top. And sometimes I even put it over here and it still comes up to the top. So why in the world would this be called the 4 10 of hearts trick?
Yeah, it should be called the 87 ace of spades trick.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you, the reason why this is called the 4 10 of hearts trick is because it uses 4 cards and 4 cards only. It's just that each one of those cards is actually a 10 of hearts.
Oh, man.
And yet, believe it or not, that's still not the crazy thing about the 4 10 of hearts trick. You see, the crazy thing about the 4 10 of hearts trick, the part that I really don't understand about the 4 10 of hearts trick is that it is done with 4 cards and 4 cards only. It's just that each one of those cards actually is a king. And that is the 4 10 of hearts trick.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm just posting comments, but I can't really keep up with them. Dude. Wow, that was so clean. I can't believe you were nervous.
Whew, I was a little shaky on a couple of those, but I'm just glad it worked out overall.
I can't believe you were nervous. Hold on. 1 billion comments just came in. Somebody earlier said it's a 3-card Monty. It's not at all. Not even close. I can't even keep up, man. Look at the comments.
Thank you.
That was incredible. That's a classic. But it's so smooth, man. I can't believe you were nervous about doing sleight of hand. That was butter smooth, man. That even the displays nailed it. I thought you were going to go the easy route and do a frustration count. You didn't.
Yeah.
That would have been the easy way to do that. And I think originally Jumping Gemini was taught with a frustration count, but you did the I don't know what it's called, but that rotation count looked incredible.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I unfortunately stumbled a little bit at the end, but that was one that
No, you didn't. Don't worry about it. And then the diminishing count you did was perfect, because usually the diminishing count looks really bad on the 4th card.
Oh yeah.
Yours didn't.
Thank you.
It was clean as hell. I don't think we need to hide this. If anybody's interested in studying that second trick, it's called Jumping Gemini. It's a classic of card magic done with actually normal cards. That's what's bestial about this. There's no sticky stuff, because you guys know how much Spidey loves the easy tack. There's none of that. There's no gimmicks. There's no double backers, double face. There's nothing like that. It is normal cards that he used there. And
I would shout out Michael Lamar if you're looking it up. I mean, that's who I learned that version from. And
yeah, but in the I don't think he did the frustration count this way. He did it the old way.
Did not. That was one that I can't even remember where I picked that up. But the heart of that trick is Michael Lamar.
I think it's Leonard Green, the diminishing count, the frustration count you did with the. But I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it looked great. No, see, guys, you have to understand something on the channel. Somebody's saying, or a few people are saying to do a tutorial on this or teach it. I can't teach. So this is something I would be able to teach, because it is a classic and there's been multiple versions of it. But I choose not to teach things that I haven't contributed to. So Jumping Gemini is not a plot I've worked on. I used to perform it, but it's not something I've worked on. So I wouldn't feel comfortable teaching you guys. This isn't a channel where I expose magic. This is a channel where I teach you guys stuff with years of experience behind it. So I wouldn't be comfortable teaching you guys something that I haven't done 100 times to tell you guys, be careful here because this might happen. Or I want to teach you stuff that I've polished. That way it's ready for you to take it and go and feel confident with it. So no, I can't teach you something that I haven't worked on myself. Now, that being said, if somebody was comfortable to come on the channel and teach something, that's fine. But even in this case, I wouldn't ask RJ to do that because it's not his trick. And although he performs it beautifully, he's performing it as taught by Michael Lamar. So if you guys want to learn it, you go get the Easy to Master Card Miracles. I'll leave a link in the description to the exact volume where you can download it. You can learn a bunch of great tricks, and this will be one of them. But I can't teach something that I haven't worked on myself. And I hope you guys understand that. I feel like most of you do, and I appreciate your understanding of that. RJ, thanks so much, buddy. Send me the link to that performance you did of the envelope trick. I'll leave it in the description.
Yeah, I'll send that. And yeah, thanks again. I appreciate it. It was great to be able to share something with you. And thanks for, kind of kicking me back into it. I appreciate it. Absolutely, man. It was a pleasure to watch that. Thank you. Okay. No, it's not revealing. Someone's saying it's not revealing if I say the name of the slide. I don't think it's revealing because you either know what that is because you've studied it or you don't. That's fine if you say the name of the slide. I don't care. Oh, Laura says you're her new favorite, RJ. So kind. Las Vegas Sleeper is an insanely good trick. I did that one for years. It's a very easy cards across with some really convincing steps in it. Benito, thank you for bringing that up. Oh, Memorizer says Orion count, it's called. Memorizer, is that the rotating frustration count, Orion count? That kind of makes sense to me. Great. So yeah, Michael Lamar, Easy to Master Card Miracles is great. So many of the tricks I've taught on the channel are inspired from there. I did one a little while ago with Ace 2-3 from a shuffle deck, not the one where they one comes to the top, one goes to the bottom that I was doing for actual people. I'm talking about the one that I did to the camera where you put them all in the middle of the deck and then you find one flips over, then you count to the other one, and the last one you just cut to. That was inspired from Michael Lamar. A lot of what I've taught is inspired by Michael Lamar's tutorials. So yeah. RJ. Thanks, buddy. Look at the little cartoon. It looks just like you. Okay, so that's great. Thank you for that, Memorizer. So the frustration count where you rotate is called Orion. That's great. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to make it. No, you know what? We're going to bring our last guest, and then I'm going to announce something and bring our special guest and do a tutorial. Yeah, let's do it that way. So we have one guest left. I'm really excited. Another 14-year-old. We're back on this side of the world again, from the States, from Florida. Another 14-year-old, and I think we're about to get blown away. I don't know why. It's just a feeling. So let's all welcome my friend Eddie Liu to the channel. Eddie, how are you, my friend?
I am so grateful and privileged to be here. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing great, man. Before we even do this, I want to talk about your website, which I'm going to put up. Talk to us about this. So it's you pronounced it Louyang, so Louyang magic.com. Talk to us a little bit about this.
So I think it was over winter break. I was really thinking about where I wanted to go, in terms of my age and my contribution to the world. And I realized that I wanted to kind of make some sort of impact. So I reached out to a friend and I asked him if he wanted to join me in making free virtual shows that would raise money for, sustainable and very important organizations such as Charity Water and other, different types of organizations that try to fight climate change. And I think being on here is a really great privilege. So thank you so much. It's going to help us. Of course, man.
So that's amazing. 14 years of age. Usually when people get into magic at your age, when they're teenagers, it's all because they want that hype and they want that, it's all about me and look how cool I am. But here we have a 14-year-old who's doing free shows to contribute to the world and help sustainable growth and these different charities. So guys, I highly encourage you guys to go check out the website. You guys could see it right down there, right under him, Louyang magic.com. Please go check it out. Encourage him in any way you can. Free magic shows if you're looking for something to do. So I can't think of a better way to use your magic than to do that. So good for you, Eddie. We're very lucky to have young people like you who are using magic for good.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Using magic for evil. You know what I mean? So, so Eddie, I'm really excited to see this. I see some coins. I see some cards.
Mhm.
Take it away, man. We're watching.
Yes. So today I will be performing a coin matrix. And I think it was after watching Ryan Hayashi's performance on Penn and Teller Foolish that really kind of inspired me to create my own version. So this is kind of a shout out to him and another coin magician, Ava Yap. So this is going to be a little bit different because we're using the whole deck just for a little bit. So Spidey, we can see that all of the cards are in fact different, right? And here's what I want you to do. So I'm just going to start dealing cards face up, just like this. And whenever you like, just shout out stop, okay? And there might be a delay, so hopefully we can still use that card.
Stop.
Okay, Jack of Clubs, perfect. So this is going to be our selection. So please, everybody remember the Jack of Clubs. As for the rest of the cards, we're going to need 4 cards to help us out. So I'm just going to go through, I'm just going to pull out 4 random ones from somewhere in the deck. So how about this one? Does this look good, Spidey? Do you want me to go further down, further up?
No, that's great.
All right, we're going to leave them outjogged. We don't need the rest of the deck. Perfect. So our selection is the Jack of Clubs, and we have our 4 cards here. We actually don't really need the Jack of Clubs, so let's just get rid of it. And our 4 cards are actually the aces. This is going to work out really well. Okay. So these are 4 normal quarters. I borrowed these from my dad. He won't get them back, unfortunately. And we're going to leave them in the corners of the mat. So the way a matrix works is essentially we cover each coin with one of these cards, in this case, the aces. Okay, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, each of these coins will jump from their respective corners and fly to this corner here. That's my top right. So everybody focus on that one. But obviously, you won't see me doing this because this isn't really magic. It's kind of just me doing my thing. And last one, perfect. So all 4 coins will go to the top right corner. Let's even this out. Understand?
Yeah, but I saw you put them there.
Yeah. Oh, we can start then. Okay, so let's get them back. So 4 cards, 4 coins. All right. So let's take this a little bit slowly so you can see everything that happens. So we're going to cover each coin with a card. Now, watch very closely because I did say we're going to do this slowly, but I kind of lied because if I just snap, we can actually see that they're all.
Oh, man.
Now, that was a little fast, right? Do you want me to redo it? All right, perfect.
Yeah.
We can just snap and then all of them come back
Oh, my God.
again. Now, I keep on faking you out, so I'll actually be honest for once, okay? So watch, covering each one with a card. And now it's the top right that we're going to be focusing on. So this coin will jump from here to here. Now you don't have the element of surprise, okay? So this shouldn't fool you because you should know what I'm doing because they're jumping from here all the way to here, okay? And now for the second one, watch. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. And finally, for the last one, it's going to join the other 3 corners, the other 3 coins in that corner to make a perfect square. So from here to here, okay? Watch. And just like that, we can actually get it to vanish from here and, of course, travel there. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is a little hard, right? Because I'm using 4 cards, 4 coins, but the cards aren't really helping because they're covering all of the coins, so you can't really see where they're going. So tell you what, we have four cards here. All right, so that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Hold on, wait, sorry, I meant that's 1, that's 2, that. Wait, this is a little weird. We'll just set them down on the. Hold on, I guess I can't use any of them now.
Love of God.
But 4 coins, 4 coins. Let's just do it this way, okay? 4 coins and just my 2 hands. So because I only have 2 hands, unfortunately, I can only cover 2 coins at a time, right? And again, all of them will join this corner here. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3.
Stop.
That was a little fast, right? So don't worry. We can restart.
Oh my God, man, this is brutal.
1, that's 2, that's 3. Hold on, my mat is slipping. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. And of course, the last one will jump from here to here. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. That is
For
4
the love
cards,
of God.
4 coins. Of course, I can have you examine them, but we're not done yet because unfortunately, we still have one last thing to do. We had a card selected from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So tell you what, we're gonna cover each coin just like this, and if I really just blow, we can actually get something to happen. See, the coins are actually turning
What the
into
hell?
corners of a card, and that's 4 corners, and of course, they are the 4 corners.
God,
of our
man.
selected
How do you even force that? Okay.
card. And that's the end. Thank you.
I'm pissed.
it was a real honor to be able to perform for you. Thank you so much.
I'm so pissed, man, because like, first of all, guys, you know what? Anyone yelling, anyone writing methods, you're all wrong, you're all off, and you all look like idiots right now because you're so clueless. It's hilarious. I'm gonna ban anyone who's like, I usually put on timeout, but it pisses me off that people are even trying right now because the kid, like the guy's 14 years old. He's doing magic on a level that like even people my age can't dream of. And you think you saw something that you didn't see. So first of all, people get like, sorry.
So I was kind of debating about doing the last part because I wanted everything you saw until the coins turning into cards was just pure sleight of hand. There was nothing else involved, which is why I was sort of debating on the last part because
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There are people out there who just don't get it. And hold on, I just want to go to the actual reactions because check it out, dude. Boom, boom.
Thank you all so much.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So first of all, I legitimately have no idea the Jack of Clubs, man. I don't know because it's like we took the face up one, not the next one. So I said stop, and you had dealt the Jack of Clubs when I said stop, and that's the one we used. So that was ridiculously fair. The coin stuff, the kickback there was insane. The shadow coins was insane. Phase after phase, 14 years old, doing sleight of hand on a level that is ridiculous. Dude, that was absolutely insane.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I banned a couple of people who think they're intelligent when they were way off. Yeah, look, let's be honest. There was one thing that we kind of saw at some point that we weren't supposed to, but
true. Yeah.
But hold on. It doesn't even matter because it doesn't even help me in any way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, people, this is what bothers me about people. People watch magic and they see one little thing and they think that explains the entire
thing. Exactly.
And that's not even close.
That part on it, yeah, it didn't really have anything to do with it, at least.
At all.
Yeah.
Because
really.
These people have no idea how, like, even to say something like, oh, he's hiding a coin. And, and so,
yeah.
And, yeah, okay, fine. So, dude, that was flawless. Like that was and at your age to speak so confidently, to move so I don't even do coin matrices because I'm not comfortable enough with that level of smoothness. So, dude, that was phenomenal.
Thank you so much. This means so much coming from me.
Yeah, that was incredible. You're welcome back on the channel anytime. I really appreciate what you're doing with the website as well. Eddie, you're a legend. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, dude. That was amazing. I can't even. I need a sec. I need a sec. Cool. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. I have to time out people because people are just annoying me right now. If your reaction to that is anything other than holy balls, that was insane, you don't belong on this channel, because we could choose to look at any piece and be the know-it-all critical ass, or be the encouraging spectator who's just so amazed by that. And if you're looking at what just happened and seeing anything other than a spectacular performance, you don't belong on this channel. We're here to grow. We're here to encourage. Everything about that was perfect. And you cannot choose to look at the one thing that was irrelevant. You can't. I forbid it. It doesn't belong on my channel. Exactly. This is the only logical reaction. Thank you, Patrick. And all you guys, all you, like 99% of you guys, it's very telling when someone jumps on an opportunity to call someone out. It doesn't make you look good. It doesn't paint you under a good light. You might think it makes you look knowledgeable because, oh, look, I know everything about magic. I know this, I know that. It makes you look like an ass. So stop it. It's a terrible habit. Absolutely. I totally agree. I totally agree. Boom. He does. You know, a lot of people compared him to Shin. A lot of people compared to Eric Chen. I could totally see the inspiration from Ryan in that performance. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to make a big announcement right now. I should write this down. I'm going to write it down. And I'll leave it in the, you know what? I'll leave it in the comments. When we're done, I'll leave it in the description. So, big news, guys, coming up right at the end of the month. What's the freaking date? I love how he didn't give me the date. Okay, I got to go look for the date. Big announcement here, guys. Bear with me. February 28th. February 28th. That's in 2 short weeks. February 28th. Something huge is happening at the end of this month. February 28th. Magicians from all over the world are coming together to take part in a virtual magic convention unlike anything you've ever seen before. Half video game and half magic convention. This thing is packed with amazing events, lectures from superstars like Ozzy Wind, Eric Jones, Paul Vigil, and Adrian Lacroix, panel discussions from magicians who are crushing it with their virtual shows, and shows featuring more than 20 incredible magicians, including myself. I'll be performing at this online convention. I will be part of a panel for virtual shows at this convention. The best part is they've designed this convention to be super interactive, including jam sessions, Q&As, and all sorts of surprises. You actually navigate the convention. It's like you have a little avatar. You could walk around. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's called Unconventional Fun, and that's also the website. So unconventional.fun. And I will put that in the description, unconventional, unconventional.fun. And it's going to be insane. Join me and hundreds of other magicians for this one-of-a-kind event. That's on February 28th. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be lectures, performances, all kinds of stuff. It's all going to be in the description. You know what? I'll type it for you guys right now. But I will also leave it in the description. That way you guys could just go to it. Unconventional.fun. Nope. I believe I spelled it right. Unconventional.fun. So go check it out, guys. Go hit that after the stream is over. Go check out the website. Go register. It's going to be insane. You guys are going to have a good time. It's being organized by really good friends of mine who were guests on the channel. Taught you guys a really cool trick with Candy a couple of months ago. And it's going to be a blast. So if you guys are into magic, and I'm assuming you're here because you are, check it out. Unconventional.fun, February 28th. It's going to be dope. Yeah, guys, easy on the spam, please. Okay, let's bring in our special guest of the week who's going to blow you away with some cool visual tricks. We're going to talk about the creative process. We're going to do a tutorial with him as well, a really cool one that I'm excited about. Okay, spammers, go on timeout. Thank you. So I've often, when I bring my special guests in, I've had friends of mine before, but I always tell you guys that they're not here because they're my friends. They're here because I respect their work in the magic industry. And this is another example of that. The fact that this guy's a really close friend of mine is just coincidence. I would have him on the stream whether we were friends or not because there's a lot we could learn from him. But he happens to be a really good friend of mine. We have a lot of interests in common. We're both huge comic book nerds. We love Marvel movies. We both love board games and video games. And so, we love to play One Night Werewolf and Among Us and Jackbox games. And we're both super nerdy in that way. He's a good friend of mine. He's also done some amazing work on movies. That's his day job. He does animation and stuff, which is really cool. I've always been fascinated by that, and I suck at it, so I don't even understand how it's done. He's a great guy. We can learn a lot from him. Don't get him confused for RJ. It's not. It is my good friend, Josh Janousky.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, bro?
Oh my god, I'm like now nervous to be on here after all the amazing guests that you had. Like all the stuff they were doing is insane, and the pressure.
Dude, I want to talk about Eddie.
Oh my gosh, like I
even saw you because I could see my guests like minimized at the bottom, and I can see your reaction. And like when he did the kickback, and then when he was doing the shadow coins, you were losing it.
I was straight up screaming at my computer. I was like, "What is going on?" It was so impressive. Honestly, everyone did such a great job.
Everyone did a terrific job, and like there was a lot of lessons to learn today. But yeah, man, that like so many of the performances today were just top freaking notch.
Insane. My goodness, that was. And also,
sorry, I'm going to cut you off. Someone's asking what my degrees are in college. My degree, actually, every time I talk about this on the channel, I say I have a degree in social psychology. But here it is, first time. My major is in sociology. My minor was in psychology because social psychology was not a program for which you can get a degree at the university I went to. So my major is, my diploma says sociology with a minor in psychology because I wanted a psychology degree, but I didn't want to learn about the history of psychology and the parts of the brain. I don't care. I wanted applied, and social psychology is applied. So yeah, it was sociology with a minor in psych. Sorry. Go on, Josh. You were saying.
I honestly, it was just going to be like 10 minutes of me blabbering on about how impressed I was with everyone. So you probably just saved us a bunch of time.
Yeah, everyone was incredible. And I'm so thankful that they all came on today. And yeah, there wasn't a single one of them that wasn't top notch. It was just insane.
It just incredible.
Yeah. So Josh, you have a knack, and it's funny because you and I are really good friends, and you have a very different knack than I do. And I think it's so interesting how in the magic industry, we'll say that some people have a mind for creating, but when you say that, it means so many different things. And there's no wider distinction than you and me because we're both creators,
yes.
But we create such different material, and our minds work in such different ways because you see the visual aspect of things and how to make things more visual, and you think of like interesting solutions and you're very gimmick oriented, and you think of new ways to adapt gimmicks, to make gimmicks, and to make super clean visual stuff. And I just don't have a mind for that at all. I don't think of gimmicks. I don't know how to think of gimmicks. I don't know how to make visual things. I think more in terms of presentation, and I bring things together that shouldn't belong, but I kind of make them work. And you've seen examples of that in my work. And I find ways to use things that are already made that are very creative. I find presentational ways, subtleties, touches. I have created a lot of original material, but it was never like this nifty gimmick. It was a way to do something rather than make something that allows you to do something. It was a way to actually do it yourself. I don't know if that makes any sense, but sort of like principles. I've come up with a lot of principles rather than gimmicks that I'm very proud of. For example, if we look at my peek, sneak peek, which is one of the cleanest ways to know what someone's thinking. It's not, I didn't invent a gimmick. I just invented a way to do something. And then I have put out a few gimmicks like my Achillean envelopes, which I'm very proud of. But again, it's not like this cool visual thing. It's a really clever way to apply something.
Yes, definitely.
Whereas you do that too, but very much in the visual. So talk to me about that. Talk to me about where does it start for you? Is it because I've seen you improve things, and I've also seen you come up with things from scratch. So what, like, does the idea come to you from the ether, from the nothingness, or does it come to you from you see something and you get inspired and go, oh, I think I can make that better, and by the time you're done, it's indistinguishable from the starting point. Talk to me about your creative process.
I mean, honestly, it's a combination of both of those things. I've done a lot of like talks with people, whether it's through streams like this or podcasts or just chatting.
You've got a fan. You could see right under your face.
Oh, awesome! Thank you so much. Appreciate it. But yeah, so like I've done a lot of talks on like creativity, and there isn't really one like process that I have, and I think that's actually ironically my process. The lack of a process is my process. And for me, I try to get inspired by things around me, whether it's a concept that I know, a trick that I really like that maybe I want to try doing it in a different medium, whether it's a problem that I'm trying to solve. A great example is I have a version of a build trick that was inspired by two of my really good friends, Patrick Kuhn and Nick Lawrence. And Patrick's had a super awesome visual that I loved, and Nick's was so clean at the end. And I was just like, I want to come up with a way of doing something that can be that visual and that clean. And I just made it a problem that I tried to solve. And honestly, a lot of visual magic is being very aware of like methods and what has been done. That is a huge thing. And you and I have had tons of conversations about new tricks that have come out, and we're talking about like, oh my gosh, that looks great, and that's such a cool application of X and Y. And it's paying attention to like the latest and greatest things, I think, help also make you a better magician, because you kind of know what's going on around in the world. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree. I also think there's in the last couple of years, I would say maybe, even 5 to 10 years. So for a while now, the releases in the magic industry it's been a very special time, because there used to be a time where, when I was younger, back in my day, where there were very few releases. Like every month, every couple of months, there would be like a new DVD or a new book or a new this or a new that. Every now and then a new gimmick. And it was often put out by pros, and it was a very practiced and polished thing. So when I was younger, I'd go buy the L&L videos. Remember those?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
L&L Publishing. So L&L Publishing, you'd buy one disc, and you were seeing a pro show you like 7 or 8 polished routines, and you can learn them all with this one purchase. And then something happened to where the magic industry became a cash grab. And so a lot of people started putting things out that weren't polished, that weren't rehearsed, that weren't that clean. And it went from being something like where 80 to 90% of what I bought I was really happy with, and then 10% was garbage, to like 90% garbage out there, man. Like I've had so many purchases in the last couple of years where I was like, this is terrible. Like I know this wouldn't work. Immediately I look at it, I go, this would not work. This is somebody who created this to sell it and make money, but even the performer, even the creator doesn't do this. So it's hard to distinguish visual magic that can't be done from visual magic that can be done under the right circumstances. For example, when Shin started releasing some of his very angle-sensitive visual stuff, a lot of people called him out. The whole industry called him out and said, you can't do this stuff. It can't be done for real people. And then Shin literally became the best magician in the world by doing the things that people said he can't do. And that goes to show that even magicians can't distinguish between what can be done if you know your right settings and what's total trash.
Well, I think you bring up a really great point, because like one thing that I think sets you and I apart from other magic creators is obviously we both perform. I mean, you clearly much more, since this is your career, and as you mentioned, I work in film. But before I moved here, like I was a full-time performer. And
yeah, you worked at restaurants.
Exactly. Yeah, I was a restaurant magician. I think that's what sort of is the big difference, is when you and I like put out a project, we've used it. We actually have performed it. And like you were saying, that's the big difference.
Dude, not even a product. I won't teach something on my YouTube channel that I don't believe in.
I know. I was listening when you were talking about that. Like, and I thought that was such a great thing that you were bringing up, just because there are a lot of people who they come up with an idea and then they immediately try to like film a download and get it out the next day. And a lot of what makes magic great is the little things that you learn from performing, the little moments that you go, oh, wait, they won't see this because I'm doing this, and now I
Yeah.
can take advantage of that. And it's
The real world subtleties, the things you can hide, the things you thought you can hide but you actually can't, the things that need a little more work. This all comes out busting your butt out there.
exactly.
And yeah, and I think that's a great point. And I think basically at the end of the day, you have to trust the quality of the visual creators. Like when something's coming from you, you talked about Patrick Kuhn earlier, you talked about Nicholas Lawrence. These are guys that they're putting out stuff that I would go to battle for, because I know it's been tested and I know it works. Patrick Kuhn performs more than any magician out there. Nicholas Lawrence, all his stuff is field tested. You could tell that experience is there. And then so many things are being released where it's like, look at this amazing moment of magic, bing, bang, boom. And it does not work. So I don't know what my point is other than be careful out there and trust creators like Josh and Nicholas Lawrence and Patrick Kuhn.
I'll take it.
Some people are talking about, they're mentioning ECAT. Did you do some collabs with ECAT or something?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I met you and ECAT. I knew you guys before I moved here to Montreal.
When you became an official Canadian.
Exactly. When I became the official Canadian, I definitely hung out with you guys much more, considering we were all in the same country this time. And yeah, I've been on ECAT's channel a couple of times.
Oh, cool.
So we did a review before literally, I think it was like a month before the pandemic started.
You've been on my channel a couple of times too.
Yeah.
There was the backyard chill where you were doing the coin, the three fly.
Yeah, my three fly. That was fun.
And you did your phase. What's it called?
Phase. Yes,
phase. Yeah, at the bar. That was so much fun. That was remember when we could hang out in person? That was fun.
I know. It honestly, that's been one of like the toughest things about this pandemic. Is just like,
it is what it is.
I always looked forward to going over to your place and just like hanging out and
just
like,
jamming it out. Yeah. But you know what? What's cool is like this whole virtual thing has opened the door to being able to do all this visual stuff that is angle sensitive in the real world now has a platform. I bought stuff and I've been doing stuff in my virtual show that I wouldn't do live. You know, a lot of great examples are, you know, the card to watch there.
Oh, so good.
You know, if I had bought that pre-pandemic, I'd say, yeah, it's good for Instagram, it's good for TikTok, it's good for YouTube, but I wouldn't have seen a performance application for it. But now virtually, our depth of vision has become this.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I feel like, because you talked about obviously the virtual performances and also like Instagram and TikTok, and especially with the pandemic, but even a little bit leading up to it, they all really became their own genre in magic. Like for the longest time, you would hear people be like, oh, that trick only works on like Instagram. And like that was like supposed to be like an insult. And it always made me laugh because it was like, well, no, Instagram is just another medium that you're performing. Like, I mean, I wouldn't do a close-up card trick on a big stage. Like
exactly. I wouldn't do a metamorphosis of a bar hopping, you know?
I would love to see you try that. That would be worth the admission.
You ever see that one magician who wanted TV exposure? So on a news report, while the woman was reporting, he just like wheels his illusion behind her and just performs the illusion behind her.
So good. I was dying when I saw that clip. That was such a...
But yeah, that the way you said it is exactly the way I think about it. If you buy a trick and you go, no, this is bad, it can't be done. It can't be done for real people. Well, it can, just in a different platform. And I think right now we're in a place where our whole lives it was stage or close up, and now a new platform has emerged, the virtual platform. And there are things that are better suited for that platform. Exactly like you said, I wouldn't do the crazy man handcuffs on stage. So
exactly.
So there are things you could do that, I wouldn't do live. I would never do live, but they look amazing on camera. And so you do it in the virtual platform. I think
it also makes
a great
an interesting challenge too, to try coming up with like tricks and methods that will work for both. Like that's actually something that I really pride myself on. Is you mentioned I do a lot of visual magic and it looks great on Instagram. But like we talked about, I used to be a restaurant magician. So I would work all those things. And so it's really a fun challenge to try finding stuff that will work both really great virtually But then if you did want to do it in the real world, when there is a real world again, you could. And I honestly, like, I suggest to anyone who right now is like working on stuff for a virtual show, like, find stuff, first of all, that 100% works in virtual. Take advantage of that. And then as you're doing your virtual shows, see if maybe you can figure out ways of like adjusting it so that way it could work maybe in a live show. Maybe it wouldn't necessarily be like a close-up one, but you could maybe do it on stage. And it makes you, I think, a better magician, because you sort of start like attacking these problems in different angles that you normally wouldn't in the first place. So
absolutely, absolutely. It's yeah, absolutely. Nothing to say on that. So you were talking earlier about how you combined a Patrick Kuhn and Nicholas Lawrence trick.
yes.
Can we see it?
I mean, I guess we could. All right, let me grab $1. I'll stand up for this, that way we can actually really see what's happening. So we're gonna take the bill, and if I rip the corner off just like that, it's really off. You can see it's really torn.
Yeah.
2, 1. I can actually cause it to jump out, and you can of course see both sides. And if you were here, Spidey, I'd give it to you. Except since we're in Canada, this is worth like $100.
Yeah,
so maybe I'll hold on to it for
my
now.
house. Yeah, dude, that was sick. That visual bam is so good, so freaking good. Good stuff. Okay, so great. Now, Josh, we have a thing on the channel here. We have habit on the channel, and the way it works is this. I'm going to plug your Instagram like this, and basically, Josh is going to do a performance and a tutorial. But before he does that, you guys have to go give him a follow. So head to Instagram, open your Instagram, go to Just Josh and Magic. You could see it right under his face there, Just Josh and Magic, and give him a follow, and then come back to the comments and say you did that. And then Josh is going to, Josh, you have to thank them in person. So using either their first name or their handle.
Okay.
So guys, go give him a follow on Instagram, Just Josh and Magic. Or Josh, you work on your YouTube channel or just Instagram?
I mean, I'm mainly on Instagram. Maybe I'll bring back my YouTube, but Instagram is
Instagram. Go give him a follow on Instagram. Now, Josh, I'm going to throw up some comments that say they did that, and we're going to thank them by name.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go, guys.
I
Guys, go
apologize
give him
in
a follow.
advance if I mispronounce anything.
Yeah, on Instagram. Here we go. Here we go.
Thank you, RJ. Appreciate it. Also, mind-blowing earlier. Vedant, thank you so much. I see you already follow me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Magic Blueprint. You are amazing. Also, that's a cool logo. I appreciate that.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I like that. That was really cool. Thank you, Vedant. I think I said thank you to already. Unless
sorry.
In which case, thank both of you. I appreciate it. Gamer Tom 9. I'm assuming your name is Tom. So Tom, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sean, awesome. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Awesome. A longtime follower. Thank you, Juan Ramos. That is, I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Honestly, thank you. Thanks.
Oh, really? Said stop, guys. Once is enough. Stop.
Thank you, Diana. I appreciate it so much.
Hold on.
Okay. Bora, awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm trying to think how other ways I can say thank you. Solid as a rock 3. Ooh, that's a cool username. I appreciate you and your username and your use of the fire emoji. There we go.
Boom. All right, guys, go give him that follow. Okay, so now we're gonna see and learn a trick.
Yes. So this is something that I originally taught on my At the Table lecture. I know we mentioned yours earlier, so I'm going to plug mine. And this is a really fun move. And it's sort of two things. I'm not going to say what it is yet because I don't want to give away the ending. But it's a combination of two things that works both great virtual and in the real world. So perfect segue into this. So Spidey, I have a deck of cards. They're mixed up. We'll give them a quick little shuffle. And I'm just going to dribble the cards. Actually, I'll try doing this so you can see me because I don't want you to think that I'm like going to be like looking at my monitor while I'm doing this. So I'm going to do it a little bit higher than I would normally. But just say stop whenever you want. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Stop.
Right there. Are you sure?
Yeah, right there.
I'm going to look away. I'm going to hold up the card. Make sure you remember what it is.
Yep.
Got it?
Got it. Got her. Yeah.
And Spidey, picture it nice and big in front of you, almost as if it's like on like a billboard of some sort. You can see
Yeah.
that? Okay. Now, I don't know what your card is, but I do know where it is. And by that, I mean, I know it's in the deck somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Right? It's not the bottom card. That would have been way too easy. It's not the top card or anything. 6 of clubs, that's not your card, correct? So it's lost somewhere into the pack. And here's the idea. Spidey, I want you to think of your card.
Yeah.
Think of it really carefully. The cards are going to tell me something. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I got it. Your card is a red card. Is that correct?
Yeah, red, yeah.
It's a diamond?
Yeah.
Okay. It's telling me it's like a higher card, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
oh, it's a court card. It's a court card specifically.
Yep.
And then it's a male court card. So it could either be Jack or King. What's it? It's the King of Diamonds. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Cool, the King of Diamonds. Perfect. So let's get into what this is.
Nice.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
Thank you. So this is
I would even say, guys, I would even say like what we're gonna learn, the value, the meat of it is like you did a whole routine with it.
yes,
But the value of here is to know what their card is,
exactly.
which is awesome.
Exactly.
So,
and what's great about this is, like I said, there's a couple of applications to this move that you can choose to use or not use, depending.
Yeah.
So this is originally, like I said, I put this in my Murphy's at the Table lecture. It is called the Blatant Peak.
What?
I'll explain why it's called that in a moment.
What is it called?
The Blatant Peak. And you'll understand why when I show you it. But
I could
I'm
already
going to
tell.
quickly credit someone. So this is going to be a mouthful. But the Neo-Picant Glimpse by John Rockenbomber from the legendary Hierophant. Such a long thing to say is a move that's very similar to this one. And for me, anyone who knows my stuff, who's owned my products, crediting is very important. So I just want to throw that out there if you guys like this for other similar stuff. So now let's actually get into the move because that's what you guys care about. So you'll have a card selected. We'll use this, okay, Jack of Clubs. And then here's the idea. So it looks like I'm just going to be placing the cards on top. But in reality, when I do the move and I'm gesturing like this, I'm actually getting a peek of the card right now.
Show
And
us.
I told you it's called the Blatant Peak, and that's because you cannot miss this peak at all. There is no way that you are not going to see what the card is. Okay? And
Let's take it from the top. So you're dribbling, you're saying stop.
You say stop wherever you want.
You're pushing the card out with your left hand like this.
Correct. And then when I bring the card down, there's 2 things you can do. You could just set down the packet in your right hand on top. That will fly by most of the time. And the card will just be out jogged towards the side. I'll get a different card. There we go. We'll use the 2 of hearts. What I like to do is I pull it out so they can see it. I bring it back so it's square. And as I'm putting the right packet down, you push out with your thumb.
So once the right hand comes to cover here,
exactly,
you push out, then you put it. I think I like that better because the retention of vision, right? If you're here and you go there, it'll fly by, but they remember that card was sticking out. Whereas if it's here, you show the card there, you come back here, and as you come over, you push it. That to me feels better.
Exactly. And that's actually one of those things that we were talking about, that for the longest time, originally, I would just keep it out and cover it. And as I performed it more, I realized it was so much better to push it out, slide it back up, and then do the move secretly when you were covering it with the deck of cards.
I agree.
So now you're in this position. Where you
Josh, another option would be they say stop.
Mm-hmm.
You show them this card.
Correct.
And on the way down, your fingers just push that out.
Yes, 100%. That is definitely, I have a few friends who actually do it that way.
So as you go back down here, your fingers just contact that. And as you square up the cards, they push that out. And I think that looks cool too. So you go like this, they say stop, and you come back there. And to them, it just looks like you're squaring up the cards, but you're in the same position.
Definitely, yeah. So that's cool. Another great way of doing it. And honestly, for me, the reason I do with pushing it out is because I try to make sure whenever I do a move that I do it the same way I would do it if I wasn't doing the move, if that makes sense. So like there's a lot of people who they'll do sleights that are super like elaborate, and then you ask them to flip over a card and they just like do it like that and it doesn't look anything like they did before. So since I'm always kicking out cards to the side like this, that's why I like to keep that motion consistent. But I know plenty of performers who do this move, who do it exactly like you were talking about, where
Yeah.
they throw the card, and then that makes much more sense to them. And you could see how clean that was, where we've kicked it out, but it doesn't look like you've done anything. So that is
Sure.
a great tip that you brought up.
Yeah.
So now that you're in this position, I mentioned it was a card control. So you actually have 3 things that you can do at this point. The first thing is, if you're familiar with a side steal, you
Yep.
can go ahead and do
You're in position.
because you're already in position.
Sure.
But the other thing is, you can now control this to either the top or the bottom,
With a
depending
call.
on how you touch the card. And so what I mean by that is, if I wanted to bring this card to the top, and I'm trying to, there we go, we'll do this angle. When it's covered by my hand, so this is the moment that it's covered, if I take my finger and I pull down and square, now I have a break right in between the two. And now all I have to do is give it a cut, and I've controlled that card to the top.
Done.
If you wanted to do it to the bottom, it's the exact opposite. So we'll
Pull down
the card, you just push up, and now you catch a break. And then when you do your cut,
sorry, that's what I meant. So guys, to clarify what Josh is saying, when that card is pulled out like this, you've gestured like this, you've seen the card.
Yes.
Obviously your hand is blocking that. Now you come here. If you want to bring it to the bottom, your pinky is just going to push up on that card and then go in like this and keep a pinky break, which you all know what a pinky break is. We've discussed it on channel 100 times. Or similarly, you go down like this, pull down on it and get your pinky in there. And now you've got your pinky break either above or beneath it. And you could give either a double undercut or just simply cut the cards, and you've controlled the card to where you need it.
Exactly. And also because like for me personally, I have a really difficult time doing a pinky pull down. I have not been able to master it. I have very weak pinkies, apparently. And what's nice of this is, because you have the cover of your hand at this point, you could actually use a couple of fingers to pull down if you need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not going to show from the front, because this part of the hand is covering that completely.
Sure.
So don't be discouraged if you can't do a pinky pull down or a break. It's so very, very simple to do. Now you mentioned, obviously, you look at the card, and when you do this, this is very important, because you don't want to be staring at the deck like this. Otherwise, people know you're doing something. They might not know what it is, but it's a little apparent if I'm just staring at like this. So that's why I like to sort of gesture, and I go, imagine you're looking at like a billboard of some sort, and as I'm moving my hands, kind of gesturing at this invisible billboard, that's the moment I'm patching what the glimpse is. The other really nice thing about this is, if you actually are working with a magician friend, they can see the peak too. Because the reason I came up with this is there are tons of great peaks out there on the market. And a lot of them are very, very, I guess the word I would say is like tight with how much you can actually see. And you can sometimes mess that up, and you don't want to mess that up in the middle of a performance, because nothing's more nerve-wracking than, oh no, I don't actually know what the card is. And so what you're able to do with this is, because you can get such a big peak, you can actually show other people that as well. So there's been times where I've been hanging out casually with friends where a person has chosen a card. I've had them look at it. I've done the move. And as I'm gesturing like this, my friend who's behind me,
great.
what the card is. And now this is cool.
You could almost even do like an instant stooge thing and be like, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played with that myself enough to confidently recommend it, but it 100%, I think that is something you could do, especially depending on how you've done it. If maybe beforehand you say, look, I'm going to dribble the card, don't think of the first card. Now, when you want to tell someone else to picture the card they're thinking of, since they have been told beforehand not to think of the Jack of Hearts, it's going to be clear that they should be looking at the one that's game out. So if you did want to do an instant stooge, that'd be a great.
Someone above asked, when you do the side steal or the side jog, how do you prevent multiple cards from coming out? So this is a very common problem, to where when you go to do that, a bunch of cards come out instead of one. And he said, he actually asked the opposite of the question. I want to find it because I know the answer to this. I just want to, so many freaking comments are coming through. Hold on, let me find it.
While you look for it, I'll sort of explain a little bit more on the tips on that. So to make sure that it's not going to be pushing out like a bunch, like you don't want something like that to happen. My thumb is contacting the top of the deck on the card that they've chosen. And then my fingers, so this is my middle, my ring, and my pinky, are right next to the edge of the deck. So as long as I keep them relatively there, when I push down, it's going to automatically sort of create like a barrier that's going to stop more cards. And
Okay, so I'm realizing now we understood something different in this question. I don't know if he means the top card or the bottom card. I'm not 100% sure what he's talking about. If he's talking about the top card, what Josh said is right. If it's this card you're talking about, your fingers just hold the deck in place and your thumb just pushes that one card over and clears the fingers like this. I think that's pretty easy. I think he may have been talking about this card. And in this case, you said, how gentle do you have to be? In fact, it's the opposite. It's not gentle. If you're gentle, you're going to bring more cards out. You have to be almost tighter. So this hand is really tightly gripping top, and not really tightly. It's not bending it, but there's a firm grip. And then these fingers are contacting here. And don't so much like loosen the grip here because that'll drag out multiple cards. Just contact the card. You're holding all of these tight. You just literally alleviate pressure from that one bottom card. I'll try to do this so you could see it. And the fingers just do that. So it's one card, literally because of the friction with the fingers, it's just one card that's sliding out.
And so here's actually what's, this is a great question to bring up. What's nice about this is the main function of this is a peak. You don't have to use it as the control if you don't want to. So you can feel as you're pushing it to the side if you have one card or more cards. And as long as you've got the peak, if you've accidentally got a few extra, you can just always go through the deck because the spectator doesn't know what's happening yet. And you've just cut the deck, you can look for it. So I'll actually be honest, if you rewatch the performance, there was a moment where I was not 100% sure if I had actually done the control, just because
you have to check.
And I had to check. And so you guys didn't know what I was going to do. So it was totally okay for me just to give a quick peek. Go, oh, you know what? I know the card already, but I forgot to put it to the top, or I forgot to put it on the bottom. And that,
you know what it is. Doesn't matter. They can shuffle it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's honestly the main thing about this is the peak. The card control is just sort of a bonus thing if you want to use it, but you don't have to. As long as you're getting the information, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. And actually, the other thing is I'm kind of glad that I messed up a little bit because, again, you guys are watching, you don't know what's happening. You don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So a lot of what makes a really good performer is if you do have a mistake, just to keep on going. Because, again, your audience doesn't know what's going to happen. And even if they think they saw something, since we were talking earlier with flashes, they still don't know at the end of the day what the trick was going to be. So it's best to just keep on performing and act like you did everything on purpose. Because unless you are performing for a magician who has seen you do the exact same routine 400 times, they don't know what to expect. And a lot of that just comes from performing more and you figure things out. I mean, I have messed up tons of tricks before and no one has ever known just because I made it seem like I was doing everything on purpose. So
yeah, I've made a living messing up tricks.
Exactly. I think one of the first times we met, I think we both performed something for each other and somehow we both messed it up. And I don't know how, but apparently we did. And see, we're still friends. So
making a great career in magic is just hoping that you don't mess up when it counts.
Exactly. Exactly. Which is one of the benefits of posting videos on social media, because you can film it as many times as you want. And no one has to know that it wasn't.
Heaven knows Spidey takes multiple takes.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I do tons of takes myself, even when I know I got it right, just because I want to be sure at this point.
Josh, a lot of people are asking, are your cards commercially available?
They are not. This was just something I printed up for myself. I don't know if you can tell I like my logo.
Yeah,
so I decided to print it up for myself. Maybe one day if there's enough interest, they'll be out, but for now it's
some people here are asking, whatever, just wanted to know.
Appreciate
all right, guys, well, that was everything. Make sure to go follow Josh on his social media. Josh, thank you so much for stopping by the channel. We always appreciate learning about creativity and how magic is created. It's nice. It's sort of like going to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and seeing a little bit peek behind the curtains as to how the magic is created. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to learn that trick I showed you guys earlier. I'm very proud of it. Josh, did you see it? What'd you think of it?
I liked it. I mean, we're gonna talk afterwards because I need more details. I don't think I
Yeah,
can
it's
wait.
clean.
I don't
It's
think I
clean
can
enough.
wait till the tutorial. I need to know now.
Yeah, it's clean. So guys, yeah, let me know in the comments. Give me a bit of time. Give me an hour or so, and I will post all the links I said, RJ's performance, and then for the convention, guys, February 28th. Make sure to go check that out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. We have some cool stuff going on. I also want to thank you guys so much. So, Josh, I'm going to say goodbye right now because I want to do this last thank you, but stick around. Thanks for being here. I want to thank you guys so much for the comments and the feedback and the positivity on my new videos where I react to The Mentalist, to the show with the breakdowns of the scenes. It's passion for me because I get to talk a little bit more about real psychology. And I was a little scared to do it at first because it's very different for me. But man, you guys, like the excitement on those are insane. And so many of you are saying, we want more of those, want more of those. So I'm so happy to see you guys are enjoying those. Really, really makes my heart happy. So thanks for being here, guys. You guys are awesome. I will see you guys on the next video. Tutorial coming soon. More mentalism breakdowns coming soon. Live streams coming soon. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Love you guys always. Peace.